Is now. Wow. Welcome to the sixth show on downsizing and relocation for boomers and seniors. I am a seniors real estate specialist with Douglas Elliman in Port Washington and Manhasset, and we talk about uh, things of interest perhaps to the older homeowner, whether it's relocating, aging in place. Uh, we had an assisted, we had an elder law attorney on before. We talked about what I do, my services as a seniors real estate specialist. We had a real estate attorney. We had a senior move manager and on and on and on. Tag sales specialist, clean out specialist. And so far, we've given out a lot of information, had a lot of good feedback so far. And I hope to continue this. I meet people all the time, professionals, and we're going to keep doing this for the foreseeable future. And so that being the case, I want to thank all my guests for coming on today. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate that. And welcome to the attendees. Appreciate that. If you have a question to ask, use the chat feature, and we'll get to it. If you feel so bold, you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself and ask that way too. You know, it's really informal here. So what we are going to do is now introduce all of our guest speakers, panelists. We have Daniel Kerr, Director of Sales at Ideal Living, RPI Media, LLC. Rachel Anderson Capone, Executive Director, Plainview, a Chelsea community. Mike McLaren, owner, Elder Care Advisor, and Assisted Living Locator. We have John Taylor, Director of Community Relations at the Bristol, Massapequa. And we have Maria Goldberg, Real Estate Salesperson for Douglas Elliman. All right, well, thanks everybody again for being here. I'm going to ask Maria now to talk about her new project in Glen Cove, the Breton Hills. So Maria, you're on.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Jeff, for having me on. So what I wanted to just briefly talk about today, because it's our new and exciting community. We've got, it's a 55 and over community in Glen Cove. We are 72 units, 7 buildings. And we offer a clubhouse in this development. We offer bocce ball court, fire pits, barbecue. The units are 2 bedrooms and 2 baths, approximately 1,500 square feet per unit. We have 2 stories. It's upper, lower, and we've got 3 buildings built, and we have another 4 being built. Now, the ones that are being built will offer an elevator option for the second floor units. They are, obviously, they're going to have their washer dryer, 2 parking spaces per unit, 1 designated and 1 on the property. And we're just getting out there. We're getting the word out there. And Jeff, you're the first person to have us spread the news. So thank you so much.
Sure thing.
Pricing is going to be between $389 and $489. We cannot give specifics on that at the moment. That's not permitted. And it's very beautifully located in the revitalized Glen Cove community. As many of you know, it's just being beautifully redeveloped. So it's a very exciting town.
It is. Glen Cove is a rich, diverse community. I know of it well, and they are reinventing themselves every year, it seems,
Yeah.
and very active. The price point you said, very attractive, because I know I do a lot of 55 and over condos for some of my clients, and number one thing, a lot of the times, is price. You know, location can be secondary as long as they get what they're looking for. In the future builds, such as an elevator, that's a big deal. It is. A lot of these active adult communities don't have these elevators. It's a walk up to the second floor. And if somebody's not as mobile as they'd like to be, you know, it could be an issue, you know. So any amenities with these
Well, what we've got, we do have our, we have the clubhouse, we do have the bocce ball court. We're gonna have stainless steel appliances.
Yeah.
We're gonna have cathedral ceilings, hardwood floors, large closet space. The first floors all have a patio. The second floor units in the newer buildings will have a balcony on the second floor units. The 3 buildings that were previously built, we were not able to add on a balcony for the second floor units. That was not possible. So we tried, but it was not allowed. It's just going to be, they're beautiful. The stylings are a contemporary view, a contemporary version, and there's also a more traditional version. So you have some choices there. And there are upgrades also available that we'll have a list of it for you on that.
No, that sounds great. I can't wait to see the Zoom tomorrow for us realtors. And when you're able to provide tours, I would love to see what you have there for sure. It
So
sounds
you
very,
get
very
with
exciting.
me, we'll get you in.
Okay, sounds good, Maria Goldberg. And say hello to Irene Rallis for me. And I'm sure Ed D'Ambrosio is looking on maybe somewhere. If not, I'll send him the link.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I know you have to go now. You're a busy
Yes.
realtor. You have a photo shoot now, so.
Yes, I do. But thank you all. Have a wonderful afternoon. And again, thank you so much for having me, Jeff.
Okay, Maria, take care now.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I know these 55 and over active adult communities, there's quite a number of them on Long Island, more so in Suffolk where the land is cheaper than Nassau, some in Queens. You know, I know a lot of different price points and amenities, what people are looking for, and it varies. You know, we could talk about that later. I just want to get to my guests right now and introduce Mike McClernand, an assisted living locator. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, question that comes to mind here. What's the difference since you're in senior housing? What's the differences between a nursing home and an assisted living community?
Well, thanks for having me, Jeff. That's a pretty common question. Nursing home residents typically have a significant medical need. It may be a ventilator, they may need tube feeding, they may need consistent intravenous treatments. So they're surrounded by nurses and other licensed healthcare professionals to take care of them. Assisted living is designed for people who don't have significant everyday medical needs, but might need some help with the activities of daily living, dressing, bathing, ambulating. So it's a little bit less intensive level of care, and the care is delivered by aides and not nurses and doctors.
See, I'm glad I met your acquaintance too, Mike, because I got to tell you, as a seniors real estate specialist, a lot of the times people pass that point where, you know, I would recommend prior to relocate, downsize to a smaller home or an apartment or a condo, even a co-op where I happen to live. But you know, once they pass that point, then I'm going to call up somebody like you, and you know, you could talk to the family, because that's pretty difficult talking to families about assisted living for mom or dad.
Well, it's difficult, and you're recognizing that the person has reached sort of an organic end to their ability to live independently. And that's hard for the senior, but sometimes it's harder for the family to accept that mom or dad or both have reached this significant milestone in their life. But nevertheless, we can find a place that has the right level of support for them. We can also find support for people who have cognitive difficulties, who have Alzheimer's or dementia related to some other condition. And those communities are often co-located with assisted living communities. They provide the same support for activities of daily living, but they also supply support for people who just need some cognitive cueing and some assistance.
So that's probably why people consider assisted living. Some of the reasons there. I do know that you have to be mobile up to a certain point, be able to walk to a certain point in order to gain entrance.
Communities have different rules. You can ask John and others about that. But communities have different rules. In assisted living, typically they have to be able to help and transfer to a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Again, there are different rules, but if they can help with their own transfer into a wheelchair, then they can use a wheelchair to get around the community. That's completely okay.
Yeah, a lot of these questions in your answers, we're going to dovetail right into Jonathan, and he can supply us with the information on that because he's in that business. What's life like in assisted living?
Well, it varies by community, but on Long Island, there are about 80 different communities, and about half of those are 100, 125 resident communities. So it's like apartment life with a very nice restaurant attached and 7, 8, 10 activities a day. So people liken it to a cruise ship. You know, the apartments are nice, but the focus is elsewhere in the community. So it's a very active life.
Yeah, and what's the food like? Just to, curious.
Uh, because there are 80 communities and because the New York is Long Island's an upscale market, the food is very good. It's a competitive. It's necessary to have good cuisine to be competitive.
Uh-huh. Uh, okay, now going on to the memory care you mentioned, what is the memory care community and why is it also called the dementia care
People
community?
have cognitive problems for a variety of reasons. Alzheimer's is the most common, but there's dementia related to Parkinson's, there's dementia related to brain injuries of various sorts, and it usually manifests initially with a problem in short-term memory and then expands from there. Neuromuscular conditions also affect the body. So Alzheimer's is a brain disease, and the brain controls the limbs, that controls other functions of the body, controls the ability to speak. So they need support for all those activities. And in addition, they need care that's sensitive to the fact that they don't process information very quickly. They're stimulated by completely different things than you or I are.
Now, I know a lot of folks, they're on fixed income or IRAs, 401ks, pensions, what have you. And I always get asked as a realtor too, what's your cost? And I say, well, what's my value? All right. And I talk about value instead of cost. Here's what you get. So is it something like that, the cost of assisted living? Because it varies, I would imagine.
The cost of living varies, assisted living varies quite a bit. There are Medicaid communities that are appropriate for some folks. And the cost of assisted living varies by community. It tends to be a fixed price for people with dementia and other problems, and the prices are a little more variable for people who want some just general assistance with the needs of daily living.
And finally, what's your role as a senior placement advisor?
I am experienced at taking good histories of people, talking about what makes a good day for them. You know, in assisted living, your life doesn't stop. You just don't have to deal with a lot of the problems and the issues you did when you lived independently. So there's no shopping, there's no cooking, there's no maintenance. So you can focus on activities. Trips when COVID is over, discussion groups, games, and just a general companionship of the other seniors. So they're all a little different, and I help people find the right fit, both in terms of services, personality, cost, location. I'm kind of a matchmaker.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mike, for your information.
Thank you.
It's wonderful information. It truly is. Our next speaker is Jonathan Taylor, Director of Community Relations at the Bristol Massapequa. Hi, John. You're on mute. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Now I can go home because Mike did all the hard work.
Okay.
He answered all the tough questions. So I think I'm done. But in all seriousness, Mike has incredible experience in this field. He has an extensive knowledge base. So he's a real asset to families that are just starting out their search. They don't know where to start, or they're in crisis. Mom or dad has taken a fall and they don't know what to do. They find someone like Michael from Assisted Living Locators, and he will help them kind of sort through. He mentioned there's 80 communities on Long Island. There's 15 Bristol assisted living communities on Long Island. So yes, it is, you do have to find the right fit for you and for your family, and he does help out a lot with that.
You know, I have a unique perspective because I deal with a lot of different situations when it comes to the older homeowner, and we a lot of the times either I'll recommend an assisted living facility community. I've gone to many myself. We used to meet there in a networking group, in many different assisted living communities. And a lot of the things that they do ask, some of it is you know, do they allow couples there, husband and
Certainly.
wife? All
Yeah.
right.
And the couples, and Mike could tell you more on this, but a lot of times with the couples, what we see is that these folks have been leaning on each other for a long time.
Right.
So a lot of times the families aren't aware of how much mom is doing to support dad, or maybe mom's cognitively not as sharp, but dad is handling the paperwork and the bills and getting the medicine. But
Right.
what we see there a lot of times is what we call caregiver. You see the loss on the caregiver. The one that's doing the heavy lifting is the one that we're more concerned about. When you look into a community like one of the Bristol communities, we have a nice mix of independent residents and folks that need some support. So specifically for a couple, that's very advantageous because mom may be completely independent and want to go out and want to do her thing. She can jump right in and know that the care is there for dad, or vice versa. The care plans in a community like ours are individual to each resident, and they're personalized. So they can go up or down over time. I have folks that sometimes come to me directly after leaving a rehabilitation center. So they'll come in, they might need a little bit more support when they first get here, but then over time, they're taking the proper medication, they're exercising. Socialization is a huge part of being in a community like this. We know that they're having proper nutrition, proper hydration. They start to do better. That care level actually comes down. I have other folks that move in specifically for the social piece. They're moving in because they're alone at home. And it gets real quiet at night. So they move into a community like this because they enjoy going to lectures and having live entertainment and a full-time recreation team that's keeping people active and engaged. And what happens in that case, they'll start off completely independently, but over time they may need some support, and it can always be added on as we go.
So you can also have a couple staying in a, say, a two-bedroom unit. Is that correct?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. So we don't segregate based on a level of care. So
Okay, yeah.
if dad were to need support, bathing, dressing, grooming, whatever
Right.
the activities of daily living that that spouse needs, we can provide that, but they don't have to eat at separate dining room tables. They don't have to live in separate apartments. They can have their own apartment and stay together.
Right.
And that means a lot to the couples that live here.
Now they're allowed to bring in say a care attendant,
We allow
health aide.
what we call private aides or
Yeah.
companions. They're certainly allowed in our communities. I will say they are the exception rather
Right.
than the rule. It's very rare that we have a situation where someone needs more support than our care team here gives. We have a care team that's here 24 hours a day, and they assist those folks that need that additional support. But I've had folks that they've had a personal assistant their whole life, so there's no reason that they wouldn't have a companion come in, and we do allow it.
Right.
Yep.
You also have a kind of like let's try the shoe on and see how it fits. Kind of like stay there for about a month or so.
We do a 30-day trial period, and really that's more for the peace of mind for the resident that's making this next step in their life.
Right.
We don't want anybody to feel like you're locked in. So the first 30 days is a trial period, and we're a little bit strategic in choosing that 30 days because it takes 2 to 3 weeks to kind of fall into the rhythm of the community and to make some friends. Our recreation team is very good. We ask a resident before they move in to fill out a 5-page getting to know you profile with us. It helps us to know likes, dislikes, background, and it gives them a head start in terms of getting folks involved that might not normally come down for something. We'll have a specific activity that's geared towards something we know they have an interest in.
All right. One important question for me is that I have clients every now and then. They've stayed along for a very long time. Now they need the services that an assisted living community offers, but they need to sell their home. All right. So that right there, trying to sell and trying to get in there, how do you work with somebody in that situation?
Well, I'm sure you tell folks that the home always sells better when there's no one in it and you can stage it properly.
I just did
Um,
just now,
yeah.
stage a place. Yeah. I've
Yep.
had, some of my clients move out to assisted living communities, but I want to give a shout out to my stepdaughter. She's an LPN and an assisted living community.
Oh, beautiful.
Glen Cove for Maria. She's not here, but I'll let her know that. And she really did a great job. She went in when she was supposed to. She went in when they asked her to come in.
God bless
And,
her.
yes, there was a lot of stress involved, and it wasn't a good scene, but she acted like a professional, very caring, very passionate, and she did a wonderful job. So
That's wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen so many people step up over the last few months. We had to kind of turn on a dime. This wasn't a stomach virus that was going to go away in a week. So everything became serving 3 gourmet meals per day to 150 residents in their apartment required, for the first couple of days, me running up and down the stairs because they forgot the butter for the sweet potato.
Yeah.
But
Well,
after those first few days, we fell into a rhythm, and now we're back to dining in the dining room, and
yeah.
everyone's happy.
Well, I know the food is good because a friend of mine, an executive chef, as I was at one time, he was the exec chef at one of these communities, and I got to tell you something. It was it was great food.
I
You
eat here
know,
every day, and I
I
love the food.
I asked him if he offers takeout. But anyway.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, John. We're going to move on to, at this time,
Thank you.
Rachel Capone, and we also have Kim Maddie. Hi, Kim, of the residences at Plainview, Chelsea Senior Living, and Rachel Capone. Let me introduce you properly here, if I can. Well, I guess it went somewhere else. Rachel, you're going to introduce yourself as the senior director.
I
All
can
right.
introduce myself.
There you
Good
go.
afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Jeff, for having me. I'm on here. I'm the executive director over at Chelsea, the residences at Plainview at Chelsea Community, as the executive director, and Kim is our director of community relations. I want to thank John for doing a great assisted living presentation, though, because that kind of helps me out. On the independent living side, will be an independent living building. We are currently under construction right in the community of Plainview, nestled right into a neighborhood. We are a rental property, so you're paying rent. You're not buying anything or purchasing anything. It's a 30-day rental. So our building is 116 units, 1 bedroom and 2 bedrooms. It's a comfortable community in the sense that you are moving in and have all the amenities of a luxury hotel or a cruise ship. Your apartment is yours. We will provide meals, 3 meals a day in our dining room for you. However, your private apartment is yours, and we're assuming when you're in your apartment, you are independent with all your ADLs, which is the big difference between myself and an assisted living. However, if you should need care, we can provide that for you on a basis that you would need to contract out with somebody. We have a full gym, we're indoor, outdoor pool, which I'm really excited about. So many amenities. So it's really value driven on why you're possibly downsizing from your Long Island home into an independent living at this point.
Hello. Well, I did download your flyer here, and there's quite a number of amenities here, and perks, activities, safety features. It seems like you've got it all here. That's fantastic. I do know if people still are active, but they need to be in a place where it's a little bit better to age in before maybe they go to assisted living. This is a wonderful solution. It's also a big thing for me is that there's the effects of community, the value of community, being with others, because isolation can lead to seriously severe depression. I also do another Zoom discussion on mental health with people all over Long Island, some professionals, and they say older citizens are becoming more addicted to painkillers, to alcohol, things like that, and it's suicide that comes into the situation. It's very sad. But a community like this, you know, you're with like-minded people, and your mental health improves automatically. It's something that's wonderful, really, independent living. I can't wait for when this kicks off, that I can go see myself what it looks like. Well,
Jeff, you and me both. You and me both.
yeah, well, hopefully, I mean, is there a target date, Rachel? Seriously?
Fall for a fall completion. Yep. So we're
Good.
looking late fall, December to have a move in. Yep.
Yeah,
It's
there's
coming
not too,
along.
that's great, because there's not too many of these independent living communities on Long Island.
There are not. So it's really a new concept for Long Island. And I'm sure John from the Bristol can speak to that, as they have an independent living property as well. It's really a new concept for Long Island that I think needs explanation on really what we do. And that exact what you just said, the community and the socialization is so important. So maybe, you know, getting out of your home where you're isolated and moving into where you still have your own privacy and you can still do your own activities, but that those activities are offered all in one place for you is super important, and especially during the spring where we just came from.
Yeah, I could see perhaps a husband and wife come in here, and then the natural progression, I guess, of course, is then go to assisted living, either one or both of them. If one goes, one can stay in the independent care and work it out that way. But this is a natural progression, and unfortunately, it's just life itself. And but is there anything else you'd like to add, Maddie or Rachel or Kim, rather? Maddie, you're on mute. Kim, come on, speak up, say something. Just okay, you're
I'm
live.
here.
You got
Hello.
a pulse. You got a pulse. Good. There we go. So, anything
No,
to add to
Rachel-
Rachel's?
No, she really summed it up pretty well. Good job. No, it's great. It's really, the socialization, I think, is really important. And, you know, houses are so big for seniors to have to go up the stairs to get your washer and dryer, to change a light bulb. You're in a community that's maintenance free. So it's really, got to really start enjoying the life that you want.
Yeah. I do know that I am a younger boomer. All right. I'm not an older boomer. And amenities would be of interest to me. What was good for maybe my folks, it's no longer good for me. You know, I may want an entertainment center that has a media center, you know, a real state-of-the-art gym, not so much of a card room, but a movie theater, which some do already. Yeah, of course, but tastes are changing for the folks. It's the silver tsunami, and that's coming. It's building up, and new facilities, new communities being built with them in mind, with folks like me in mind. What is of interest to you? And it's not the way it was. And this is a good start, because I see all the things here on this flyer, and it really is, you offer quite a bit. So that's wonderful. Anything else before we move on, Rachel, you'd like to add?
Think I'm okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah,
Thanks.
well, you know, again, I keep saying I'm a seniors real estate specialist, and the reason why I say that's because this is my specialty, is helping folks to downsize and relocate to a place that's good for them, or age within place, and I call it living in place. And living in place could mean being at a 55 and over active adult community. All right, that's because a lot of folks are getting older. They're moving to the 55 adult, 55 plus, and they're staying there for a lot longer. And then from there, as one of my clients, going to assisted living. All right, senior housing. So that is happening more and more. But you know, it's funny. I will tell people you can live in place anywhere, whether it's active adult or an apartment, or where I live in a co-op called Tom's Point in Port Washington. Yay. It's Manhasset Bay, you know, what's not to like? And a lot of people here will downsize to here because they're great apartments on the first floor, which I have, and garden apartments. I wish there was an elevator, but there isn't, you know? So the thing is it's about community, and that's what I stress. So when you go to these other communities, whether it's an independent living or active adults or assisted living. It's about the community, about the services that are offered. And you can live in place just about anywhere because everything is up for grabs, basically. You know, everybody has a different way of dealing with things. And I've seen just about everything out there. And the toughest clients I have are the ones that are above 90 years old. The claw marks are right in their doorways. I'm not leaving, but once they see what's on the other side of their fear, all right, then all of a sudden, they can't wait to get out and move on with their lives. And it's a process. So it's dealing with the individual. That's the biggest thing that I'm concerned with, that I see other professionals do. And you need to treat folks like you would your own dad or your own mom. It's that simple. So that's why I like this field, because my own mom needed help. And for her to age in place, live in place, she needed a reverse mortgage. And it was great for her. She's not leaving, by the way, she told me. So I work on her. She's my test case. Well, in any case, I want to move on to really a huge field, and there's so much to talk about, and that is Daniel Kerr, Director of Sales at Ideal Living, RPI Media. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, we've known each other for, let's see now, I've had a booth at the Ideal Living Expo for 4 years, consecutive years running. First, the 2 years before that, I came in as a buyer representative and introduced myself to a lot of the vendors there, and got to a little bit to know about what the services are, the communities are like. And I said, this is perfect for me, because in my business, you're helping people to downsize and relocate, all right, in this case, out of state, because if they don't want to go to the East End on Long Island, the reason why they want to move, there's multiple reasons. Big reason is cost. As you know, New York is no stranger to high taxes, and especially now during COVID, it's very stressing. Issues that are facing some of our communities too. People want to just live in a controlled environment, if you will, or in a not so hectic pace environment. I just want to say just a few things before I give you the podium, is that my second year there was about maybe 450 attendees. 2 years ago, there were 725, 750 attendees. Last January, there were over 950 attendees, I believe. And that's just telling me that people want to move, people want to get out. And once they want to get out, I want to point them in the right direction. And I've developed relationships by email, by being at the Expo, of where they could go, what they're interested in, and they have many reasons why they're leaving and what they're looking for, the amenities too. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you. Dan, you've got the floor.
All right, well, thank you. And we're fortunate that we work with between 150 and 200 of the top builders and developers on the East Coast, and specifically really Delaware, PA through Florida. And they are as busy as they've ever been. And some of them compare their sales to 2005, 2006, before the recession. The good news is these are real buyers and real sellers. These aren't folks just buying 4 and 5 lots for speculation. But the biggest challenge my communities have right now is inventory, believe it or not. They're selling so quickly. And I don't know what the market's like on Long Island, but I can tell you that all the communities we work with, they are on fire, and they're trying to bring on new inventory as quickly as they can, specifically because there's a whole nother wave of buyers that have not felt comfortable due to COVID and other reasons on taking a trip. It's Mr. and Miss Smith living in Huntington, going to Florida to see what they have to offer, whatever it might be. And so, but there is a pent-up demand like we haven't seen before, and an exodus getting ready to happen. It's going to be pretty amazing. So we're trying to position ourselves as just like you are, as the easy go-between.
Well, that's it. I'm going to work from backwards up to where I want to concentrate on is that I received an article, as I do, about relocation and things like that. And this one here that I downloaded is basically New York exodus. Boomers looking to relocate. That's a big deal. And 2012, you had maybe close to $30 billion moving out. 2018, actually 3 billion. All right. And 2018, almost 10 billion leaving New York. New York is the #1 state where people are relocating from. And I mean, that's huge. It is no mistake here. It is high property taxes. The cost of living is very expensive here in New York. Don't get me wrong. I was born and raised on Long Island. I love it, but when it gets too expensive, what are your options, So some people who do have funds, extra funds, can buy a vacation home, maybe move down there when they sell their place up here, or as a second home, So it's not just relocating too. The demographic, I mean, I take my own poll besides getting the polls you send me. And when I started, it was like, well, we're 3 years out, we're 2 years out. Last year, this past January, I'm leaving this year. A lot of people wanted to leave this year. And now I got the latest report, even more people want to leave now because of everything that's going on. So I don't know if you can expand on that from your own statistics, Dan.
Well, we're seeing about a 35% increase. When I say increase, instead of them being a year out, 18 months out, they're ready to do something quicker. And again, it's going to be a comfort level. Everybody's different with that, of when they're comfortable going down and taking a visit and seeing what everybody has to offer. But when we hold our events on Long Island, typically we're in the Melville area, but that's just one location that we go to. We're in Greenwich, Connecticut. We're all over New Jersey, the DC market. And so that Northeast corridor, everybody has a lot of the same challenges, which are traffic, cold weather in the winter, and high taxes. So it's pretty homogeneous across all those states.
It is. I always say, a quality of life. What is it that you're looking for? I mean, that's what we're trying to do. You press the easy button. That's the whole idea of moving to these more climate-friendly communities that offer fantastic amenities. The walking trails, they're close to universities, they're close to the bays, the estuaries, the oceans, the lakes, the mountains, what have you. You have a little bit of everything. I met the state tourism director of Tennessee there, and a lovely lady. She retired now, but Tennessee, I'm going down there to visit too. That's on my bucket list, if you will, is a lot of these places, and these communities are really gorgeous. I got to tell you that, So, I mean, I got this in the mail, all right, today, and it's the virtual expos that you're holding, and September 12th and 13th, so that's great. Virtual, that's where everything is going, it seems. And you guys just pivoted and went right to this, like a lot of other businesses. And this is a fantastic idea because now people get to see everything from the comfort of their home. And so tell us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. I hearken back to the days when we could get 1,000 couples in a ballroom, but that's not happening anytime soon. So we've had to pivot. And but we do think, and this is a little selfish, that this could completely change our whole business model. Because let's take our Long Island show, for example. We typically pull from about a 30-mile radius, but there are so many folks. We can go into Westchester County. We can go beyond. We can go as wide as we want to with the virtual event. They don't have to worry about weather in the wintertime driving to a show. They don't have to worry about being bombarded by 1,000 salespeople, however they want to look at it, whatever their fears may be. They can learn about all these great communities and locations from the comfort of their living room. And so it's a great scenario. We think we're going to get more attendance, when I say virtual attendance, than we would at an actual show, where we typically average between 700 and 1,000 couples that come to one of our events. So we're very bullish on this. And if we can pull this off, which we think we can, it opens up so many other markets where we couldn't hold an actual live show. So we're throwing everything we've got at this because we have to, but it's where the market is right now. And how we're positioning these virtual shows are, you could spend days, weeks, months online trying to find all this information yourself, or come spend a couple of hours with us over a weekend and get everything that you need.
You know, it's with, I mean, I understand this completely, because I got to tell you, events like Zoom, for instance, getting, you know, some attendees, of course, but it's also when you promote it, how many people will listen to the link when you provide it. But my first seniors real estate specialist Expo, if you will, all right, I had 0 people come. You know, I held it at the company, and not one person. The guests showed we had a lot of food left over. You know, but you know, again, I had it at different places, and a few more people. But here, you could reach a much bigger audience, and that otherwise may not come to your expo. They could just click on the link and attend that way and get all this information. Everything is a click away, you know, and more people are in tune with going virtual nowadays. And some people, I would say a smaller percentage, maybe 13, 50% are looking to buy virtually online, you know, through this, you know, so that's picked up quite a bit. So that's a remote purchase, 16% right here. But the top 3 factors in making your relocation decision is right here: better climate, 71%; lower cost of living, 69%; lower taxes, 68%; a better quality of life, 60%. Big 4 right there. All right, that's the reason why people move. I mean, I've been to a couple of communities when I've gone away on the East Coast. I'll drop and just take a look, see. Really are beautiful. I mean, I got to tell you, these guys do a great job. Not everyone is an active adult community. They're just kind of like a planned community, perhaps. But half the people are more willing to go to a 55 and over active adult community, because in my mind, they're built with the older homeowner in mind, with amenities, with the way the floor plan looks for easy navigation. Perhaps the universal design is put into effect, lower cabinets and things like that. So they take their construct very seriously. Was there anything else you just wanted to touch on?
Well, I think that I would have lost a lot of money betting that the real estate market would be so hot right now with everything the world's going through, but it is. And if anything, like we talked about, it's accelerated the timeline for a lot of folks. And so that helps everybody that's on this call, whether it's somebody downsizing, whether it's somebody moving out of the state to somewhere farther south, warmer climate, whatever it might be. There's a lot of activities going to be happening over the next couple of years, just because of where the baby boomers are and just sheer numbers and their aging. And so it is what it is. We've all got to take advantage of it and help these folks now while they're going to need it.
You know, absolutely. I mean, as a realtor, I got to tell you, I mean, there is a real purge from Manhattan, people coming out. And as a matter of fact, out in the Hamptons, if you had a rental, you could clean up. And it's not, I hate to say this, but I'm going out to the Hamptons for 4 days, starting Friday morning. But, you know, I was very fortunate with that. It's just that people are leaving Manhattan for various reasons. People are leaving Long Island for other reasons, you know, and people are looking for a better quality of life. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You have to enjoy life to the fullest, all right? And sometimes it's a little harder because it's a little hectic here on Long Island, a little bit more congested. The taxes, the maintenance of the home, and you know, go to a place that has you in mind, that's built for you, and enjoy, you know, life as it is, you know. And I mean, I travel a lot of different places in the United States, and you know, I see some of these communities, and some of them the old style, the old big planned communities, and you get lost. You have to use a golf cart to get around. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, these are great. I mean, North Carolina, South Carolina, the best state to move to, 63%. Then Florida by 51%. All right. Some people, I would say 63%, need to sell their home prior to purchasing their next property. That's nothing new. I've done that. One of my clients recently moved down to North Carolina. from out in Hicksville. So and I asked her, what do you like about that? She says, well, I don't like the mosquitoes, but I like everything else about it, and the, the climate is great. They have walking trails nearby, university close by, medical facilities, a very big thing too. All right, because I deal with international moves too, but that's on another show. So people are moving like never before, and I knew things were coming to a boil, but now with COVID speeding up their plans, some of the social unrest we're experiencing, that's also speeding up people's plans. People want to leave, and I can't blame them. I mean, we all love where we are. We've been in the same home for some over 40 years, and it's hard to leave. But something, once people make that decision and I help them with that process, they can't wait. They want to go and they love it. They really do. And shows like yours, expos like yours, really opens up their mind. And I still stay in touch with a majority of them. All right. I send out newsletters. And one guy says, oh, you're the guy at the expo. And I said, yes, I am. And sometimes they'll call me up 2 years later saying, Jeff, I'm ready to move, which really is amazing to me. But something, it's a process. When they're ready, I keep in touch with them. And I still get emails from people down from Naples, from Chattanooga, from, wherever it is, Chapel Hill. And it's just great talking with other professionals, trying to consult and advise the individual about their options. That's what I try to do. And we go from there. So is there anything else you wanted to discuss? How would somebody, get onto the ideal, just go to the idealliving.com site and sign up for the virtual?
Yeah, we've got two weekends, and it's ideal-living.com. And we've tried to make the first one, September 12th and 13th,
Yes.
a little more Northeast focus, which will be, folks we're going after from a marketing standpoint, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut. And then September 26th and 27th, we have another event, and that's going to be more of the Northern Virginia, PA, Maryland
Right.
focus from our marketing standpoint. But anybody can log on and go to either of those events, and we'd certainly love to have you.
See, one thing I'm reading this postcard, this very large postcard that my wife almost threw it out by mistake. I stopped her. Is what makes the virtual tour the best way to find your ideal home? All right, from the comfort of your home, this is great. You can view the community exhibits and videos. You can take exclusive virtual tours of model homes. And that's unique too. That's great. You can chat with the local experts. You can watch presentations on demand. You can download brochures instead of carrying these big bags of everything. You schedule a visit to tour your ideal destination. Now, I know a lot of these communities, they have a discovery weekend, if you will, where it's like a 2 or 3 day tour of their facility for very inexpensive, whether it's $199 or something in that ballpark. You get to see their whole community, everything that they have to offer, very inexpensively. And it's a nice way to get away. Instead of renting a place for a whole year, just go down for a few days. Look at the community, maybe drive around the area, see if you like it. Take it for a test drive, if you will. And if you're not sure, talk with the local experts. But this is a wonderful way of getting to know an area without having to leave your room. And I got to tell you, Daniel, two expos, there were 2 blizzards. It was on one of the days, and I can remember one day it was coming down so hard, and it was like a ghost town. But us New Yorkers, we tend to get out there anyhow. But now they don't have to worry about getting out in frigid weather, because in January it can be very iffy around here. So that's really nice. I got to tell you, I really enjoyed having met you for all these years and stayed in touch with you, and I know you've been very kind to me in my business, and I appreciate that extremely, you know, and I just wanted to let you know that. So there's something for everybody, and through consultation that I always offer, and I always want the kids to come in, the adult kids, and sometimes that can be like a circus, you know. You know, I mean, with two 90-year-olds, the guy knew this Wi-Fi password, and he's still annoyed that they took his car away from him. Well, 6 daughters at the kitchen table, and we figured out the best place for them to go, and it was an assisted living community. We sold their home, and that was that. But everybody was okay, you know. And when you bring in all the decision makers and you provide the options, you don't push, you just provide the options, saying, you know, have you thought about this? What is it that you're looking for? What's on your wish list? All right. You cut through some of the fear because we don't know where we want to go. There's nothing for us out there. How much does it cost? A lot of things get in the way, you know, and but if you have an open mind, you know, we just look at things, and it's, again, once you see something you like, that's it, you know. But you take the first step in having somebody like myself come over, going to an Expo online, talking to an assisted living community director, going to, say, Jonathan or Kim or Rachel, you know, going to asking Michael for help, you know. I know I'm going to be talking to Michael quite a bit, I think. And that's what I do, because I recommend elder law attorneys, senior move managers, tag sales, state sales specialists on the high end, lower end, clean out specialists, organizers, declutterers. And it's a much needed service, and it's about time we really provide good service other than just, I'm selling the home. And I don't care if it's a multi-million-dollar estate or a one-bedroom co-op. I'm going to do my darn best to help the individual, give them the best counsel that I can. All right. And because, you know, we all deserve to live a quality life. And that's what I do. And I know all of you do. That's why you're in this field. It's not for everybody, you know. So if anyone else has anything to say, do we have anything from the audience here? Any attendees chatting? No, but what I'd like to do, let's see here, is to put up a couple of things that, let's see here. It was something here. Of course, it's not there when you need it. You know, what else is new? Let's see here.
That's one of the new challenges we're all going through, Jeff, is trying to find that thing on your screen that you want to show somebody else. We're all learning the technology.
You know, and I had it all up there, and I was ready to go, and I just cannot believe it. Let's see here. Maybe I can show it here. Let's see here. No. Let's see, because I have everybody's contact information on there, and now that's even gone. Just bear with me, folks. It takes a little while, but I promise you, it's well worth it. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Drum roll. Okay, now I'm going to why it's not up there. Okay, there we go. I'm still a little challenged because, you know, once you reach a certain age, it's a little bit harder. Okay, so we have the only person that's missing is Kim, because I didn't have enough room to put in Kim on top of Rachel, but they're a team here. All right, so if anybody wants to kind of take a screenshot, this is being recorded, so you're going to be seeing this for sure. And if you have any questions, you can always email me, and I could put up my information here briefly. And let's see here. Okay. That's me right there. Okay, let's see here now. So there we go. I'm from a believer that the more, let's see here, you press buttons, you're going to find what you need. And that's what I'm doing here. So there I am. All right. You could call me and I can give you the information of these professionals. My phone number, I'm always there. You can call my phone number up until 10. After that, I'm snoring. All right. I get up early in the morning. So there we go. So there's that. But more importantly, it is our pros who are kind enough to be here today. And there we go. So let's see. What else can we do here? I think I'm just going to leave it off with you guys like this here. All right. Just like that. All right. So Daniel, Rachel, Kim, Mike, Jonathan, thank you so much for joining me today on downsizing and relocation for boomers and seniors. It's wonderful seeing you all, and I'm sure I'll see you all again soon enough. And best of luck out there. If you have any questions for me afterwards, just let me know. Door's always open. All right. So again, thank you all so very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Jeff.
you.
It was great.
Okay, guys.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yes.
Have a good day,
very
everyone.
great.
Bye.
Take very good care, guys. Bye
You
for now.
too.